In this video, we are going to understand how to create a program to check a given year is a leap year or not. So to do that, what I'm going to do is, let's create a class. Go to new and then create a class and then write the program as check leap. We are going to check whether it is a leap year or not, and then select the public static void main and finish. So what we are going to do, we are going to check whether the given year is a leap year or not. So to understand this one, you need to know whether the given year is a leap year or not. So to know that, you should understand what is a leap year. So a leap year should consist of 366 days in that year, and also it should be divisible by 4. So you have to divide that year with 4, and sometimes what happens, you will have century years. Century years are like examples are 1900, 1800, 2000. These are called century years. So if the year is a century year, so whenever you divide with 4, the first and foremost condition, it should be divisible by 4. That is the first condition you have to check. And after that, you need to check whether it is a century year or not. Century means when you divide with 100, it should be the remainder should be 0. You need to divide with 100. That is for century year. So after that, whenever you understand the year is a century year, you should make sure that that is divisible by 400 as well. So when you divide with 400, if the remainder is 0, then only you will call it as a leap year. So a leap year will occur every 4 years with 366 days, where February consists of 29 days. That is the definition of leap year. So to write this program in Java, you need to understand operators, and then you need to understand if condition. Now let's write the program. So before you write the program, define an integer. Let's say I am taking the integer as 1998. Assume this is the year I have taken, and take one boolean value. I'm going to check whether it is a leap year or not. I'm writing the flag as leap and then make it as false initially, how we have done in our prime numbers program. So first define the flag as false. So now first and foremost thing what you're going to check is, you are going to check if the year, so whatever the year you have, that is divisible by 4 or not. When you are dividing with 4, whether you are getting leap year or not. So if you are looking at this concept, and if that is not the case, then you will say, okay, write it as else. If that is not there, it may not be a leap year. So you will be writing it as false. Okay. So when you check for the first, if it is divisible by 4, then assume that that is a leap year, but you need to check one more condition, whether it is a century year or not. So to do that, one more if condition you need to use. So what is that? You make use of year, percentile, and then 100 is equal to 0. And in that case, if it is divisible by 100, again you have to make one more else statement. Just write this else statement. If that is not true, then your else case will write the flag, that is leap flag, as true. Okay. And what you're going to do is, if this is also true, what you're going to do is, you are going to check whether your year is divisible by 400 or not. So if it is divisible by 400 and the remainder is 0, then you can say that that year is a leap year. That means you will write the flag, that flag is leap is equal to true, and then if that is not the case, then else, the else case you will write here, else you will write the flag, that is leap is equal to false. So this is how you will write the logic to create any program to identify whether there is a leap year or not. See here how you have written. So if you wanted to make it the clear understanding of the program, check for century, and how it will write. If it is not century, if it is not century year, then only I'll make it as this flag. And this is for checking for divisible by 400, just to make sure that once that is a century year, then you make sure that it is divisible by 400. Now let's see with an example. Let's say 1998 you have taken, and you need to write once everything is done. So just write the if condition one more time. If leap is true, that means you are saying system print statement, that is system out your year plus is a leap year, and the same thing you will write it in the else case. Just write it as else, and then it is not a leap year. So now if I understand the logic correctly, see 1998 is here. First it will go and check whether it is divisible by 4 or not. Just run this program and see, it will throw you the outcome whether it is a leap year or not. So 1998 is not a leap year. So what it is doing, it is first checking with whether it is divisible by 4 or not. If check whether it is divisible by 4 or not. If it is divisible, and if it is a century year, then only it will go and check for these conditions. And if I write 2000 and see if it is divisible by 4, see it is divisible by 4, and then it will go and check with 100, and it is a century year, and finally you will check whether this is divisible by 400 or not. So it is divisible by 400 also, and finally it is a leap year. So this is how you will write the program for leap year. You can try with different years.